Welcome, and thank you for listening. If this topic speaks to you, share your reflections below, where you're tuning in from, what time of day, or what moved your heart. Let us build a global conversation around the sacred calling of public service. In an age when politics has become a battleground of ideology, accusation, and rage, it is nearly heretical to speak of politicians as instruments of love. Yet agape, the self-giving, sacrificial love that mirrors the love of God, has something urgent to say to the vocation of political leadership. To many, politics is synonymous with corruption, with empty promises, with manipulation. Yet beneath the surface, beneath the noise, there are men and women, some in office, some aspiring, some long forgotten, who answered the call to serve because they longed to do good. They entered not for glory, but to give. And yes, many fail. Power seduces, bureaucracy breaks, lobbying distorts, but the dream of politics as public love is not dead. It is merely buried under centuries of mistrust. Agape digs it up again. Jesus overturned every worldly concept of leadership when he said, "The rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them. It shall not be so among you. Whoever wants to become great must be your servant." Matthew 20, verse 25 to 26. This is not a metaphor. It is the heart of divine authority. Leadership as self-donation. A politician infused with agape does not govern to be praised. They govern to protect, to heal, to uplift, to unify. They pass laws not to score victories, but to safeguard lives. They wield power not to dominate, but to serve. This vision is not utopian. It is incarnational. It is what Christ modeled and what Catholic social teaching upholds. The Catechism of the Catholic Church is unequivocal. Political authority must be exercised within the limits of the moral order and must guarantee the conditions for the exercise of freedom, CCC 1901. Authority is not a right to rule. It is a duty to serve. It is accountable to God. The Church teaches that political leaders are bound to respect human dignity, protect the vulnerable, and promote the common good. When authority becomes tyranny, it loses legitimacy. But when it is animated by agape, it becomes sanctified, a channel of grace in public life. We must remember, holiness is not confined to monasteries. Some of the Church's greatest saints were rulers, chancellors, and public officials. St. Thomas More, Chancellor of England, lost his life for refusing to betray his conscience under King Henry VIII. His fidelity to God and to truth made him a martyr of integrity. St. Louis Minth, King of France, led with justice and piety. He ate with the poor, administered law with fairness, and lived in prayer even as he governed. Blessed Karl of Austria, the last Catholic emperor, sought peace during World War I. He applied Catholic teaching to labor law, social welfare, and diplomacy. He died in exile, misunderstood but faithful. St. Casimir of Poland, a prince who refused to engage in unjust war, choosing chastity, prayer, and justice over politics as usual. These leaders did not compromise their faith. They lived it boldly within the hard, messy world of governance. They proved it is possible to lead a nation with a heart rooted in Christ. One of the greatest threats to agape in modern politics is lobbying. While some advocacy is needed, the modern system allows wealthy interest groups to bend the will of elected leaders. It creates a two-tiered democracy where influence is bought and public trust erodes. This is not agape, it is manipulation. St. Paul warns in 1 Timothy 6:10, "The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil." Political bribes may be legal. They may be called donations, but when they sway a vote away from the poor, the unborn, the migrant, the widow, they become sin. A politician led by agape resists this seduction. They remain rooted in truth, not pressure. They vote with conscience, not contribution. Even the well-meaning are often broken by bureaucracy. Promises get stalled, bills get buried, staffers leave. The system, designed to ensure stability, often smothers change. This is where agape shines most, because love is patient. The politician who endures the grind without giving up on the people, that is the hero we never see. They fight for justice, even if it takes years. They answer letters, they attend hearings, they still believe. In recent decades, we have seen politicians across the globe threatened, shot, mocked, assaulted, and killed. The hate is bipartisan. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was shot in the head while meeting constituents. Congressman Steve Scalise survived a targeted shooting. Sir David Ames was murdered while serving his community. This violence is not justice. It is not accountability. It is not prophetic anger. It is sin. Agape never kills. Agape never mocks. Agape disagrees with courage, but never dehumanizes. When we demonize public servants, we mirror the mob before Pilate. We cease to see a soul. We chant for blood. The church calls us to something better, to pray for our leaders, even those we oppose, to correct with respect, to challenge with charity, to speak truth, but with love. And yet, despite all this, many still choose to run for office. Why? Because something in them wants to help, because they believe their city deserves more, because they know the pain of their people and want to change it. Some are teachers, nurses, veterans, community organizers. They do not start with ambition. They start with compassion. They walk door to door. They listen. They take notes. They cry in silence. They pray before debates. They write policies in between raising children. They are not perfect. Some lose their way, but many still remember their why. Agape calls us to see that spark and to fan it back to flame. Democracy is not only about who governs, it is about how the governed behave. If the electorate is filled with hate, the elected will mirror it. Agape invites citizens to vote with conscience, not just tribe. Resist mockery and memes that dehumanize. Read, learn, discern. Engage with empathy. Offer feedback with grace. Pray for all in authority, 1 Timothy 2, 1-2. A citizen formed by Agape changes the whole political climate. They bring light into the storm. They protect peace. Imagine a politics not built on personality, but on principle. Not on spin, but on service. Imagine lawmakers who pray before votes, mayors who walk with the homeless, presidents who ask the Spirit for wisdom before speaking. This is not fantasy, it is sanctity. Politics can be holy, it can be transformed, it can become a work of mercy, a form of love, a kind of liturgy, and if it does, the world will see something rare: power without pride, law without cruelty, justice with mercy. That is the goal, that is agape. To every honest politician, thank you. To every weary public servant, we see you. To every soul who governs with integrity, may God bless your mind, your heart, and your hands. And to every citizen, may we become worthy of holy leaders. Let us stop cursing politics and start redeeming it. Let us build a civilization of love that includes our ballots, our laws, and our leaders. For Christ himself was born under a census, crucified under a governor, and rose to be the King of all kings. Even politics is not beyond redemption. Agape makes it so.